Well, hey everyone, it's HeapCVA. Welcome to another episode of Subnautica. And here we are in my little base. And I'm going to have to maybe get up and change my clothes, quite honestly. Because let me go up to my thing here if I can remember. There it is. So let's climb the ladder here real quick. So while you guys weren't looking, I did some housekeeping down in my pod. Not this pod, the tubes that I'm kind of living in right now. But I went back to that pod that's over there at the edge of the where the Leviathans have been kind of camping out on me in this particular save. And I thought, well, I'll swim on the surface and I'll go in there and see what I can get and get out of there. And everything was looking real good. But as you can see by the video, it didn't exactly end that way. And I thought I was in the clear as I swam over to my little submarinette. I'm glad I didn't look behind me because I imagined that I had a Leviathan hot on my trail. And so as soon as I got in my sub, he was on me. And while he beat the crap out of the sub, I'm here to tell the story. So, got me down to about 20% on the sub itself, but I finally got away from him, or he got tired of chasing me, whatever it is, and I got back to base and made a few repairs, as you can see. So here we are back. The sun is up. We got some time. And I actually have an intention today versus not having an idea what I was going to do the last time I saw you. Because we need to get some stuff done. And so let me get batteries before I forget. I always forget them. There's 5. As you can see, I do kind of know where everything is now. I built a few more. I kind of redid this. Hanging blockers on these walls is not easy. Nothing stays straight. You can't, it's not wide enough to really do anything. But anyway, enough complaining. Where am I here? I gotta look at the back of the boat here. So my guess is we're gonna head off in this direction. So you can go and go fast this direction if you want. You know. What I'm trying to get at, and normally I start looking for that kind of cloud because it gets down to the ocean where most of the clouds stay high up in the sky, and pretty soon the island should form. Yeah, I got to tell you something while I'm out of here, and we almost had a where is it again? See, I've already lost it. Eclipse. I'm hoping it's out this way, and I'm not just going the wrong direction because I don't know any better. I think I can see it. See, there's the... See, it's weird how that draws, isn't it? You're seeing the top of the mountains before you get close to seeing the rest of the mountain. And you know it's there. They're starting to show up. See? You know, it's amazing. You know, I come back to this game probably once a day. And I'm having a kind of a miserable time on my other save with my big submarine, and I'll just be getting something done and feeling like I'm making progress, if you will. And sure enough, it'll crash. What in the world is that? So this is the first time we've been at the island. So might as well get out, and this is a Cyclops hull fragment, which we'll take whatever we can get. Not what I came here for, but okay. Anyway, the thing crashes almost every time now. And unfortunately, what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do is start again. And it makes me want to pull what little hair I have in my hand out of my head. Now, there's a lot of things to scan on this island. And we'll hit them as we go along. You remember, we're not looking for food, so that's not a big deal to us this time, as it usually might be. But, you know, I don't know if anything has changed on the island since the last time I was here. You know, like I said, every save has been its own little adventure. And so the things that I'm experiencing in the game that I make videos out of for you guys is not necessarily what I'm experiencing in a given game in my other save. Now, I'm getting to that point, though, where I am experiencing wrecks that I find that don't have anything in them, which is kind of weird. You would expect to see something, even if it's something that you already have, but I'm actually not seeing anything. And I guess when you go all that way and you put yourself in enough danger, you kind of expect more, if you will. And we're going to go through here. I know it's dark, but we can get around. I appreciate that they haven't made this island crawl with critters that take big bites out of you. I really appreciate that, because it could be worse. So they must have done a little work on the lighting, because it does seem to be a little better lit, if you will, which is nice. Sometimes the dark is so difficult that you can't get anything done. So I'm just going to, I don't need these, but I'm just scanning them. I'm hoping that there's an end of the game reason to know all this stuff, because right now it's kind of up in the air. And so I scan everything because it may be part of downstream a bigger plan, or, you know, wow, how come you didn't know about that stuff and scan the information for that? Now you're unable to do such and such. Now, before I go in there, I am going to let the sun come up. But anyway, let's talk about the other stuff I was talking about here. One thing I'm noticing, now, you know, I put up quite a few videos, 3 in the last 10 days for Emergency, or Emerge NYC. I mean, I've heard it pronounced both ways, so I'll use both, just like saying 911 first responders and Emergency 4. I guess now that I've been dealing with those guys again after having a break from when I stopped hanging around the forums for Emergency 4 and all the mods, and where things are out now, even though it's just a tech demo, is the difference between the two game developers and how much correspondence that Raphael, more than anybody else, there's other guys there, but he seems to do most of the talking, and really the minimal conversation that people are having in the Subnautica conversations on Steam. Now, there's another site, I think it's called Trello, Trello. It's amazing that I remembered that, where there's some kind of back and forth, but it's not the discussion type thing that you expect on a normal forum. And with all of the stuff that's going on in this game, there isn't a lot of talk. You know, there's no discussion, there's no request for information, there's no back and forth as much as there is for the other game. And I admit that already, and it hasn't been that long, it kind of spoils me, especially as I bump into things in this game that are on the fringe of disappointing me or frustrating me, where you don't expect certain things and it happens anyway. See that little guy there? I'm smarter than I look. Thump. Bye to you. You're deader than a hammer. What if I can scan him? That's one way of proving that I did what I was going to do. Anyway. We need to come over here, obviously, because how else are we going to get out of those tubes if we don't come over here? Anyway, I just wanted to mention that, in that of all the things that we've actually seen and done and traded info back and forth on, there just isn't lately the just the sheer volume of stuff that I get out of other games as far as that goes. And as they keep, you know, changing things and adding and subtracting things, which I appreciate. They're trying. There's a lot of back and forth on the line, on especially Steam. I tend to have a tendency to go there a lot about where everybody expects us to be as far as you know, no weapons. I need that, like I need a hole drilled in my head, but what else? You know, some of the other things that we're dealing with, and the just kind of open disagreement that people are having. Nice battery. That I didn't quite expect. Now, you know, everybody has their way that they want to play this game, the way they want it, what they expect. There's an 88 PDA that I walked right past. That some have decided to do it one way and one another, and quite honestly, you know, you should have sort of that. I mean, I'm not the game maker, so, you know, I can think a little bit about it, but I can't at the end of the day tell these people what to do. And I'm certainly not, other than purchasing the game, I don't have much of a dog in the fight. Does that make sense to you guys? And so when they're trying to get things done and they talk about, you know, what their plan is and all of that stuff, for me, it's what in the world is going on here? And I am stuck in the rock. What in the heck? I wonder if I can save this I'm not sure I want to, but I don't know what else to do. That's pretty weird. I've clipped myself right into the scenery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out real quick and well, let's do this. If it doesn't work, then it really won't make any difference, will it? So give me a second. I'll pop in and pop back, or pop out and pop back in, and then hopefully I'll appear out of the landscape. So give me a second. Well, guys, it looks like I'm stuck. I wish I hadn't done that. There's no jumping, there's no anything. And so I've blown it. I just was kind of hoping that it would give me a break, and it didn't. And so I've got 1/8 of an inch of movement, but it's not going to be enough to get out of this. And unfortunately, I saved it. So thinking that that would help, I should have just shut the game off. And you can laugh at me. And in fact, you know, like this video as an indication of the raspberry that you're giving me right now for being such a buffoon and saving this idiocy when I could have just started over and maybe got out of here, and now I'm basically in a position where, what do you do? Start over? You know, there's really nothing that I can do. So with that, I'm going to sign out, and what I'll do is get us to the point about where we were at as we left our little base to come to the island. And my phone, which I want to chuck it clear across the street when I'm recording, it does things where I've got it silenced, but apparently that means nothing to an iPhone. But anyway, I will come back when I've got everything loaded and finish this particular session. I'll try to make it look as similar as I can, but it's not going to be the same. I wish, like all of you were probably saying to your face or to yourself right now, is why did he even think of doing that? I should be able to walk right out of here. You know, let me out. Let me out. And it's not going to. So I can't believe I did that. So let me go do what I got to do, and I'll come back as quickly as I can. Hey, I'm back. And I don't know how or why, but I'm moving. So I'm going to keep trying. This is the weirdest thing, isn't it? You know, we're talking about a a game that's supposed to be... I know it's an alpha. I get that. But it makes you wonder, you know, obviously I wasn't supposed to go through this tunnel, but I'm so close that, well, let me try one more thing and see if I can make it get me loose. I didn't expect to move this far, so hang on, I'll be right back. Well, hey everybody, I'm back, and you know what? This is simply not going to happen. This is as far as I can get in this tunnelette. It's not going to let me go any further. I'm beginning to wonder if this tunnel actually didn't exist, and it just inadvertently loaded itself and did its thing. So what I'm going to do is go out to the main menu, and let me show you what's going on in my other save just for a little bit, and then I guess we'll call it for today, because technically I've got to rebuild everything and kind of get us back to the point where we get up and leave for the island again, which gives me a headache just thinking about it. Look at how slow things load. Now you can see I got a lot of stuff going on. You can tell compared to what you're watching me do in the other video, I'm a little bit ahead in this one here. I don't know if it's light outside or dark. It is light. So we can go up. There's my moon base. I've got a couple of pods up, and yes, there's the big sub that I've been trying to do the same thing over and over. Sorry, it was the only name I could think of at the time. This has been like 5 different colors over time. Now it's yellow, and that's supposed to be orange, but there's really no orange in this game. It's a reddish hue. I guess I better get over here. Let me look real quick and see if... Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't get anything out of that. So I'm going to basically show you what happened to me this last time, and to see if we can repeat it. Because, I mean, to me, until some of that stuff is fixed, there's no sense making a lot of other videos. Now, it's getting dark, so I'll go ahead and motor out a little bit, because what I can do here, and if you don't have one of these subs yet, that's the best part of this, is motoring backwards. I do love this camera. Thank goodness for this, because I'm in a rather shallow point considering I have this right next to me, and if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be able to see anything. Now here I am kind of cruising out. It's dark. What I'm going to do is go out over here, and I want to show you a couple things that are, well, I just showed you some of the footage from my last time, and now see, look at the stall. Now I actually lowered the resolution It's still playing at 2560 by 1440, whatever the size of this monitor is. But I lowered the settings down to the lowest that are available in the game. Did it stop me from having problems? No. And I've been trying to do this same errand. I mean, and what I'm trying to do is not rocket science, for crying out loud. I just need some silver. That's all I need. Not asking for the moon, not looking for specialty stuff. I'm just looking for silver. Do you think I can find any? I have. Notice that I have all the goodies you need to go get it in places other than in the kelp forest. But I'm waiting for the sun to come up because you really can't see underwater very well. And I want you to really be able to see what I'm doing. The reef backs over there, I used to think this was the safest place to be. Not really so certain that's true. And why they're all tilted off kilter like that, can't tell you. But you know, I don't do many reviews of games. Now I've done one for Emerge NYC or Emergency, just to kind of identify myself as one of the cheerleaders for them to make a game, finish a game. And then I hope it turns out as well as I think it's going to turn out. I'm really excited for that. I haven't done a review for this. There was a point in time where I was pretty positive about this game. Lately, I don't know what it is. I just don't have the same enthusiasm that I once had in the scene, like I said, and you guys have heard me say it a few times. And if you're thinking about it, I'd like to hear your thoughts on how you think this game is going. If you've seen the improvements, are they the things you were looking for? Are they going the opposite direction of the way you thought you were going? Have you had crashes? What are you experiencing with this game? Because I think I need to know whether I'm an isolated case or if that's very common, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if you could leave me comments on that, I'd really appreciate it. And, you know, try to figure this out. But, you know, I don't really want to write a review now because I wouldn't be very nice. I'm frustrated, and I rarely get frustrated. And that's why I've been doing other things, and I've got to make some videos of some of the other things that I'm doing to get my mind off this game a little bit. Because every time I come back and think that things will be better the next time, they are worse. And it's been a week, guys, that people have been complaining about the crashing. Oh, they'll fix it in the next update. You know what? How long do we have to wait for that? Why not fix that and forget about all the other things that can wait a little bit? Let's get the game back to functioning the way it was when I first picked it up, when it never crashed and it had good graphics and things seemed to be in place. Did it have all of the things in it yet? No, but it wasn't crashing every 5 minutes. Now, I think it's not crashing right now because I'm not moving. So here we are underneath. It's a whole lot better when the sun comes up to be able to see. You know, so what I want to see, number one, because you guys have really never seen this save, I'm pretty sure, is number one, if I can even see the that other pod. You know, I'm getting to the point, you know, and it doesn't show up from very far away. You got to be almost on top of it to get it to show up. You know, and one thing about cruising around in this is compared to some of the other things I have, I'm really not worried. God, are we in an eclipse already? Oh, for crying out loud. There it is. Well, I'll be darned. So let's kind of motor over here. I'm up on the surface, not that I'm worried about anything. And what we're going to do is look underneath. So, okay, I get it. Couple things in different places. Let me sink just a little bit. It's easier to look out this way than it is if I go like this to look out the top here. See, and it makes you wonder, where is that thing from where I'm standing right now? If I look at the top, see, oh, it's right above us. See, do you see a Leviathan anywhere? I'm telling you right now, I do not. You know, compared to where I was in the other save, this is actually a pretty good thing. Now, I can't remember if I've actually been in the thing or not. So what I'm going to do is come up next to it. Here I am looking forward. Nothing swimming around that wants to eat me. So let me step off of here. Come down here. We'll go out this pot hole. And it's nice to have this big thing to... See, there was just water in here. I know I'd been in here. I just wanted... Excuse me. Wow, I didn't mean to blow your eardrums out with that. Just to see. So we'll get back in this big dog here. And I'm going to go forward just a tiny bit. Let me turn the camera on because I have a lot more easy time. Do you see anything digging holes in the sand here? Do you see any bad critters trying to eat me as I'm trying to get in that pod to see what's in there? Do you see anything down here? That's what I'm thinking. Now, is there something down here? Probably. Because, quite honestly, see, there he is. Way, way down there in the bottom where he belongs. And in that other save, we just drew the short straw and got the thing right in our backyard. Now, we shouldn't be getting this dark yet, but it looks like we are going to. So I'm going to go down. We're in the tree forest right now. You know, you got to stand here for 20 minutes to get the Kush forest over there. Of all the names to come up with. I want to go this direction, so I don't mind going through the tree forest. I just got to be careful because you hit the trees and you knock all the stuff off of them. Nothing happens, but I feel like an idiot for doing it. So, yeah, I know a lot of people that don't even use the sub. there are still parts of the sub down there that I didn't have to use. I was very lucky in this save to see a lot of things in places that some surprised me and some are exactly what I expected, and made me feel good. See, now the amount of stuttering is going to start getting worse and worse as I come over here. Now I'm just out of the forest, and the stutter is terrible. You know, I understand some of it, but some of it is like, you know, I got games that I paid a whole lot less for that have less issues going on with them right now. See, now this is not what's down in the bottom of this thing by any stretch of the imagination. But this is the lowest I can set this, and you can see it drawn square by square, and you're like, this is taking forever, you know, and should it do that? And see, there's the stall again. I'm kind of stuck. There it goes. You know, and it's like, this is the day. You know, and last night I was doing this, and I'm just trying to find something here, for crying out loud. See? And the game crashed. So, while we're on this screen, let's call it good for right now. You know, it's time to send a nasty gram to the developer. I'm a little weary of being this far along in what they call an early development build. Phooey. That we're still having issues like this that are like, oh, we'll fix it when we get to it. You know what? I already technically paid for something that I'm not getting. Oh God, I sound just like the people I was making fun of in another forum. But it just shows to go you that some days it's not worth getting out of bed for some of this stuff. So, you know, it is what it is. I hope that they fix it soon, because I can't see firing up my version, and I just don't want to start over for the 11th time. I just hope they fix it soon and quit fooling around. So that being said, thanks so much for coming by my channel, checking out another video. If you liked this particular episode of Subnautica, hit the like button to let me know that you're feeling my pain, if nothing else, and that the little parts that actually worked were kind of entertaining. Hit that like button, comment, and at the end of the day, to stay up on this stuff like I'm trying to do, think about subscribing so that we can charge headlong into this thing, and hopefully enough people say something that asks for the same thing, that we move this to the next step and the crashing goes back to where it came from, which was not bothering this game. So I'll get to work making this into a video. You guys have a good evening or day wherever you are on the planet, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.